It's Ash from SuperVideos back for another video for The Walking Dead The Ones Who Live. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at the trailer for Season 1, Episode 2, which is called Gone, and I'm going to be breaking it down. There are some interesting shots in there, but for the most part, I don't see anything in there that reveals too much as far as the story. But there are definitely some subtle things in there that I will mention that might give us some hints what they might be doing in the episode. So stay tuned, we'll be right back to break this down. Alright, as always, before we dive into it, smash the like button, subscribe to join our community, and press the bell to be notified when I upload on the channel. With that said, let's dive right into it. So this trailer pretty much starts with this shot of Michonne wearing her armor and heading towards that horde that we saw at the end of the main show in the post-credit scene of the series finale. So they're definitely going to go back to that, which is pretty cool. And then we have this shot of Michonne introducing herself. Now, she's not wearing her armor here, and the way she talks makes me think that she's actually in front of maybe a leader type of figure within the new group that she found, the caravan of survivors she ran into at the end of her final episode. We see her here as well, reacting to seeing something. We do know that Nat is going to be with her at this point, Nat being a member of the caravan of survivors she meets. But in the dialogue, she says, "I lost someone years ago." So again, it appears that she's speaking to maybe someone in charge and she's trying to plead her case for why they should help her. And then we have this shot of her looking at the phone with her and Judith's sketch on it with the Japanese writing. And then in the voiceover, she says, "But I just found out that he's alive." We have this shot of Rick, which is super interesting. I didn't think we would get too much of Rick. I thought we'll just get Rick at the end of the episode to basically bring us up to speed to where we left off at the end of the last episode. I predicted that maybe in this episode we're going to focus on Michonne all the way to the end, just like we focused on Rick all the way to the end in the first episode, and then at the very end they'll do a similar scene that they did at the end of the first episode with Michonne attacking the helicopter, but we'll see it from Michonne's perspective, and it'll lead up to the reunion again between Rick and Michonne, which we're gonna see fully in the third episode. But the fact that they're showing Rick in the trailer makes me think that maybe he's there for longer than we think, and maybe they're intertwining both of their stories in this episode, and it's not like we're gonna see only Michonne. And then they have this shot of Michonne with her zombie pets. This is actually a flashback directly from her final episode. In the voiceover, she says, "I need to ask for some help myself." And then we see this shot. This is when she found those two survivors that were members of the caravan of survivors that she joined, which connects to what she just said. And then we have Nat here in the current story, current timeline, telling Michonne will take you as far as you need, which is super cool. We have Michonne firing that weapon towards the herd, maybe to distract them or possibly direct them to some direction. But this is actually the same weapon that was used, I think, when the helicopter was attacked, the one that Rick was on. So I'm assuming they're going to use that, which is pretty cool. And based on what we know from the character of Nat, he's an engineer, and it looks like he's the one that crafts all of these weapons, which is awesome. We have this shot of this walker, and then we have it here as well. And it looks like this walker is one that's particularly important for whatever reason, because they've shown it a few times. We know that Michonne ends up shooting this walker and blowing it up, but I wonder if there's any other significance to this particular walker. But we have Michonne here with that super cool weapon. We have Nat here with his rockets in the back, or whatever you call that. But those are the weapons that he engineered, and I'm assuming those are the things that they shot at the helicopter. We have Nat here with a lighter, and then we have Michonne here doing some push-ups, which is super cool. We have this shot of a farm of some sort and the caravan of survivors in the background approaching it. We see three people on the road. I'm assuming those are Michonne, Nat, and possibly Michonne's new pet walker. We saw that in one of the early teasers. I'm not going to bring it up again, but if you've seen the teasers, you know which one I'm talking about. We have this shot of Michonne screaming scatter, and then that's when the helicopter comes in and basically sprays the chemical gas. This is very reminiscent of what the CRM did to Omaha. So they're doing it yet again to another community. There were some rumors that maybe Michonne is actually at Omaha and we see things from her perspective, but she survives, which would be cool, but I don't know if they're gonna go that far when it comes to connecting the dots. We have this shot of Rick as well. I'm assuming this is right after the reunion because it looks like he's very emotional. And of course, he's injured from the explosion that went off. And then Michonne says, "That's it." Again, she's talking to who I'm assuming is the leader of this group. And then she says, "No other reason, no agendas." So it looks like they don't trust her and she's just trying to plead her case. And we have her killing this particular walker. But that's pretty much everything that was in the trailer. Not much to break down. Most of it was self explanatory and not very hard to really put together. There were a few subtle things here and there, but overall, I think this episode is most likely going to be maybe 90% Michonne, and we might see Rick a little bit earlier in the episode. And of course, at the end, still predicting that we're going to see that reunion scene again, but from Michonne's perspective. But that's pretty much it. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, smash the like button, subscribe to join our community, and press the bell to be notified when I upload on the channel. That's it for this video. See you next time for another super video.